Hey guys, today I want to talk a little bit about FM synthesis in Alchemy. And on first sight, there's not a lot of FM that we can do inside Alchemy, but if we think about it for a while, we can actually find some very cool options. The first and most obvious choice would be to switch to the FM filter here in the filter section. We find that in the main filters, but also in the source filters of the independent sources. So what this does, it will sort of use a second oscillator, which we can hear right now, which is just a sine wave, and then with this frequency knob, previously the cutoff, we can tune that. And then as soon as we increase the mod amount, we're using oscillator or source A as a modulator to modulate this carrier signal. So the frequency of A is going to modulate the frequency of this new sine wave that we have. But that is only if we increase the mod amount right here. And then we have a feedback which allows this oscillator to also modulate itself. Now, to get usable results out of this, we probably want to use key follow. And to use key follow, we need to double click this control. That will set it to 523 Hertz. That is based on C. This means that now it's sort of mapped to the right beginning value. And then you need to listen to your MIDI notes. So we're gonna set key follow to that. We'll give it a 100% modulation depth, and then this is going to be in tune. Which we can see with a tuner right there. Now if you want to drop this an octave, you just have to divide this value. So that would be 261.5, and after that it will be 130. So that's already pretty nice, but there's something that I find even more interesting, which are actually these LFOs. If you put them in free mode, so you don't sync them, they actually go up to 220 Hertz, which is the audible range. Normally LFO stands for low frequency oscillator, and in a lot of cases they don't go higher than 20 Hertz. Which is not very useful for us, but FM is just the same as LFOs, but it's just running at a faster rate. It's just actually a vibrato, but then at a very fast audible kind of rate, and that produces very interesting timbres rather than the actual vibrato, and we can hear that very well with using this LFO. So if I disable this filter for now, I'll choose a normal filter, and I'll disable the key follow as well. And then if I set an oscillator to the fine tuning here, let's try that first. So choose LFO 1. I said oscillator, but I meant LFO. So we're going to use that LFO to modulate the fine tuning. And then at the slow rate, you'll recognize this sound. That's just vibrato, right? But if we go faster, it starts to break up, and at a certain point we don't hear the individual cycles anymore, somewhere around here. It just becomes a tone. So if we do this with the coarse tuning rather than the fine tuning, so let's use that same LFO. So this is just a much bigger range. We get FM synthesis just by using regular LFOs. There are a few values here that work. Like right now, the maximum value is 220. That's why I chose the note A to modulate, because A is based on 440 Hertz. So A an octave lower is 220 Hertz. Another octave lower is 110. So that's why it sounds good in that area. Now we don't have to use this to frequency modulate something. We can in fact use this to FM anything. Another common thing to do, for example, is filter FM, where you take the cutoff of a regular low pass filter, such as that guy, and modulate it with another LFO. Now it's going to be more difficult to get this in tune, but you can get very interesting tones out of it. So let's try it first at a very slow rate to get some sort of dubstep wobbles, wop, wop, wop. And then if we increase that, you'll hear that we don't hear the individual cycles anymore. So that's quite a cool tone we have there. And now, since this filter is providing most of the tone, we can more freely experiment with the tuning of this source. So we can try dropping the tuning all the way down. Or setting the sync all the way up. We can try this with a high pass filter, which is a popular choice as well. And we could even try this with an FM filter. So then we're modulating the frequency with sort of another, so we have 3 FMs in a chain. So those are some nice options and some things to play around with in terms of FM, or basically audio rate modulation. And in that category, we can use FM, we can use AM, and we can use RM. Those are all modulations that run at an audio rate. AM and RM both modulate the volume, and FM modulates the tuning. So another nice example would be to set this LFO to just the volume of source A, and you'll get very interesting tones. So have fun experimenting with that, and I'll see you guys in another video.
The Pyramind Mentorship Network connects you to experienced professionals for truly customized private training in music production, sound design, music business, and more. Use our scheduling tool to select the type of training you want, pick your mentor, find a day and time that works best for you, then book your session. Your appointment will be confirmed instantly. Study only what you want, progress at your own pace, pay as you go, and do it all from the comfort of your home or studio. Our global network of industry experts are here to help you. Visit pyramind.com/mentorship to get started.